Undercover boss buys a fried chicken at his own restaurant, stops cold when he hears. 2. Employees, you sold the recipe. 20 grand each. Crispy King's gonna crush them. Shut up, Ethan. If anyone hears, Logan froze with a drumstick halfway to his mouth. If you believe food is family and legacy should never be sold, hit like and subscribe. What you're about to hear will shake a company to its core. The heat was rising in Memphis, not just outside, though the southern sun was unforgiving that late May morning, but inside the soul of Logan Carter, who stared at the latest quarterly report from Southern Bites' Memphis flagship location with a pit in his stomach. 15% customer satisfaction, 20% drop in profit margins, complaints about dry chicken, faded flavors, missing warmth. It didn't add up. Southern Bites was Logan's family legacy. His grandmother, Evelyn Carter, known to most as simply Miss Evie, had opened the original restaurant from her home kitchen 55 years ago. Logan had grown up dusted in flour, elbow deep in spice rub, learning every notch and twist of her secret legacy chicken recipe, the same one that had propelled their small kitchen into a nationwide chain of over 200 stores. That recipe wasn't written down. Only 3 people in the world knew it in full. Logan was one of them. So when customers started saying, "This doesn't taste the same," Logan knew something was deeply wrong. He set the report down, stood, and walked over to the photo wall of his downtown Memphis office. There she was, Miss Evie, smiling in black and white, holding a cast-iron skillet in one hand and a wooden spoon in the other. Logan rested his palm on the glass. "I won't let anyone ruin this," he murmured. That day, Logan made a decision he would go undercover. He shaved the corporate trim from his haircut, darkened it slightly, added a subtle mustache. With a slight hunch in his posture and a pair of budget eyeglasses, Logan Carter vanished. In his place stood Lenny Carr, a middle-aged teacher on summer break in town to visit family. 2 days later, Lenny walked into Southern Bites Memphis at 12:37 p.m., the lunch rush. The scent of oil and spice filled the air, but even that seemed thinner, less potent. Logan's senses, trained by years in the kitchen, picked up instantly something was off. The base spices were there, paprika, garlic, cayenne, but muted like someone had tried to follow a painting tutorial and skip the shading. The restaurant wasn't filthy, but it wasn't sharp either. A loose ceiling tile drooped over the north dining area. The drink station was sticky. The counter staff looked exhausted, juggling too many orders. When he stepped forward to order, the young man at the register blinked twice before offering a forced smile. "Welcome to Southern Bites. What can I get you?" Logan smiled. "Legacy chicken, dark meat, 2 sides, extra hot sauce. Coming right up." Logan paid cash, sat by the window, observed. The kitchen was visible from his seat. Only 2 staffers worked the fryers and plating area. A red-haired server zipped between tables, her ponytail flicking side to side. A tall, thin man with sleeves rolled up was manning the fryer. Logan's tray arrived in 6 minutes. He picked up the drumstick first. The crust looked right. But the moment he bit in, he knew. No buttermilk tang, no subtle sweetness to offset the spice, just heat, oil, and disappointment. He chewed slowly, then set the drumstick down, heart pounding. If this was the legacy chicken, then someone had rewritten the legacy, and they had done it without his permission. He sipped sweet tea to settle himself, then pulled out a folded local newspaper and pretended to read all while watching the staff. That's when he heard it. Two voices coming from behind the fryer station. 20 grand each. Still can't believe we pulled it off. It was the fry cook Ethan based on his name tag and the red-haired server Mia. Logan shifted his chair slightly. Mia hissed, "Ethan, shut up." What if someone hears? Ethan chuckled. No one's listening. Anyway, it's done. We sold it. Crispy King's gonna release it next month. Logan's body froze. Crispy King, their fiercest competitor, known for aggressive marketing and a recent uptick in flavor innovation. Ryan said Jacob's got it handled. Ethan added, "We're safe. And when Southern Bites crumbles, we'll be long gone." Mia looked visibly shaken. "I didn't sign up to destroy the company." "You signed up for the money," Ethan snapped. "Now enjoy it." Logan's blood went cold. Jacob Reynolds, one of his own executive VPs, a man he had mentored. He quietly reached into his back pocket and slid his phone out. Voice memo. Record. The voices kept going. Jacob said they'll fake a spice shortage, start blaming suppliers, make it look like Southern Bites can't maintain quality. Mia again. He's insane. Ethan, he's about to be rich. So are we. Logan stopped recording. He had heard enough. He stood, dumped the tray untouched, and walked out into the heat. He didn't remember the walk back to his rental car. Didn't notice the sweat on his brow. All he could see was Miss Evie's face, and all he could hear was the sound of betrayal crackling through a fryer. Part 2. Deep Fry Deception. Logan didn't go home that night. He couldn't. Instead, he sat in his rental car under the yellow glare of a cheap motel parking lot, sign phone in one hand, recorder in the other, listening over and over again to the voices of betrayal. Ethan's words, Mia's fear, Jacob's name. His pulse thundered in his ears. He texted just one word to the most secure contact in his phone, Diana. "Logan, call me." Code red. Diana Lopez wasn't just head of security for Southern Bites. She was ex-FBI cybercrime, with eyes that could slice through granite and a file system tighter than the Pentagon. 10 minutes later, she was on the line. Tell me everything she said. No hello. Logan didn't need to be prompted. He described the visit, the altered taste, the overheard conversation. He played the recording, silence on the other end. Then, "We've got to move fast." Logan agreed. By morning, he had a new planned stay embedded. He'd become part of the restaurant staff. Get close to the source. Learn exactly who was involved, what they had taken, and how far Jacob's rot had spread. He shaved the mustache, swapped the glasses for a thicker frame, darkened the tan on his arms with a self-tanner, and put on a Southern Bites kitchen crew polo shirt he still had from the early years. With Diana's help, he inserted a fake identity into the regional hiring system. Larry Cooper, 44, recently relocated from Little Rock, looking for kitchen work. No one blinked. They were short-staffed. Ryan, the manager, brought him in without a second thought. Within 24 hours, Logan, now Larry, was wearing an apron and scrubbing fryer baskets, and it didn't take long before he saw how deep the rot went. The first thing Logan noticed was the oil. It wasn't changed, not daily, maybe not even weekly. It was too dark, too viscous. The fryer hissed when he dropped in a batch of thighs, not in the familiar sizzle of clean fat, but with an angry crackle that spit and stank. Ryan, the manager, was always in the office, rarely checked the line. When he did, it was to scold, not support. "Don't waste product," he barked once when Logan tossed a clearly overcooked drumstick. "We're not running a charity." But it wasn't just the oil, it was the prep. Chicken wasn't being marinated overnight as per protocol. Instead, it was dipped in a watered-down spice bath an hour before lunch. The flour mix, supposed to be the exact spice ratio passed down from Miss Evie, was pre-packaged. No smell, no soul. The worst, no one questioned it. Legacy Chicken's just a name. Ethan shrugged during a break, chewing a sandwich he hadn't paid for. Nobody really remembers what it tasted like. Not anymore. Logan clenched his fists. He remembered every note of it. He wasn't the only one who seemed out of place. Mia, the red-haired server, was jittery. At first, Logan thought it was guilt, but the more he watched her, the more he suspected something else, fear. She avoided the office, flinched when Ethan came too close, and lingered a little too long near Logan, as if silently asking him to say something first. He bided his time. Then one night, after a grueling 10-hour shift, Logan found Mia outside the back exit, sitting on an overturned milk crate, staring at the stars. He joined her without a word. For 5 minutes, silence. Then softly she said, "I didn't think it would go this far." Logan looked over. "What do you mean?" She hesitated. "Then I thought it was just a tweak to the recipe, something small. Ethan said it'd help us get ahead. I didn't know they were selling it." Logan didn't push, just listened. "They changed everything. Then Ryan told me to keep quiet, that it was temporary. But the minute Jacob got involved," her voice caught, "they used me Larry. I just wanted to pay off my student loans, not ruin a company." That night, Logan made another call. "Diana," he said, "I need you in Memphis. Tonight." She arrived in the early hours of the morning with a laptop, a secure hard drive, and a thermos of black coffee. Together, they set up surveillance in the break room, a hidden mic near the supply closet, a pinhole camera on the manager's office door. By noon, they had footage of Ryan accepting an envelope from a courier unmarked and making a call that mentioned J.R. That night, Diana cloned Ryan's hard drive. What they found would shake the company to its core, a folder marked J2CK Transfer. Bank transfers to Ryan totaling over $50,000. An internal memo from Jacob Reynolds to Walter Reed, CEO of Krispy Kreme, referencing a strategic acquisition of formulaic intelligence. It was corporate treason, and it was logged, signed, and dated. Logan stared at the screen in silence. Then he stood. It's time. They weren't just going to stop the leak. They were going to turn the trap back on its architects. Logan spent the next 48 hours drawing up a strategy. Not a defensive one, a counterattack. Because stopping Jacob wasn't enough. Not after what he had tried to do to Miss Evie's legacy. Logan wanted every move exposed, every accomplice named, and every dollar accounted for. It started with a formula. He and Diana created a counterfeit version of the legacy chicken recipe close enough to pass a sniff test, but wrong in just the right places. Too much black pepper, a bitter back note from extra mustard seed. The flavor profile was harsh, unforgettable, and if marketed, would crash and burn in any real food market. Then Logan uploaded the fake formula into the company's top-level digital archive, the same database only a handful of executives could access. Diana spread a carefully worded internal memo. Urgent final test version of Legacy 2.0, now stored in HQ Vault pending R&D approval. They waited. Within 36 hours, the file had been downloaded. by Jacob Reynolds. Within another 48, rumors swirled that Krispy King was preparing to launch a new product called Golden Heritage Chicken. Logan couldn't stop smiling. Now came the final stage exposure. He set the date, Tuesday morning, 9:00 a.m., and returned to the Memphis location in full Southern Bites executive attire. No more aprons, no more mop buckets, just a charcoal gray blazer, a red Carter family pin, and a laptop full of evidence. Ryan saw him first. His expression was priceless confusion, then realization, then panic. "Mr. Carter," he stammered, stepping out of his office. We weren't expecting, I bet you weren't," Logan said. His voice was calm, controlled, but every syllable cut like a blade. Diana entered next, flanked by 2 uniformed officers and a federal corporate crimes liaison. Employees started whispering. Phones were quietly pocketed. Ethan backed into the walk-in cooler. Mia looked like she might faint. Logan called for attention. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, standing on a milk crate in the middle of the dining room, "my name is Logan Carter. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Southern Bites, and what you're about to hear concerns every one of you." He played the audio. Ethan's voice. 20 grand each. Krispy King's gonna crush them. Mia's. If anyone hears, he pulled up screenshots, emails, transfer logs. Then the pièce de resistance, a forward from Jacob Reynolds to Walter Reed that read, "Their customers won't know what hit them." Then he showed a picture of the fake recipe being packaged with Krispy King branding. Silence. Then gasps. Ryan tried to slip toward the back. "Don't," Logan warned. Cuffs clicked. Ryan was led away first. Then Ethan. Logan turned to Mia. She was shaking. "I didn't mean to." "I know," Logan said gently. "And you helped us. You'll have a chance to make this right." She nodded, tears running down her cheeks. That afternoon, Southern Bites issued a press release. Logan stood on the steps of the original location, his grandmother's house, now converted into a company museum. He faced a dozen microphones. Southern Bites has always stood for tradition, family, and flavor that comes from love, not greed, he began. That legacy was threatened, but not anymore. We have taken swift action. We are restoring every recipe, auditing every kitchen, and removing every name that forgot what this company stands for. He ended with one final line. "And to Krispy King, enjoy the flavor you stole. It's not what it used to be. The trap had been sprung. Now it was time to rebuild." The press conference was over. The news cycle was ablaze. And yet Logan Carter sat alone at the counter of Southern Bites' original location, staring at a single handwritten recipe card encased in glass beside the register. Miss Evie's handwriting, faded ink, smudged corners. The only piece of the recipe ever written down, and it only contained the final 3 steps. Logan had memorized the rest from the time he was 8. Diana slid onto the stool beside him, 2 coffees in hand. "You just made national news," she said. "Business Insider's already calling it the boldest counter-corporate takedown of the decade." Logan didn't smile. "They stole it because I let them," he said. "I was too far from the floor, too deep in the boardroom." "You stopped them," Diana said. "You didn't let it go." Logan nodded, finally accepting the coffee. "We're not done." In the days that followed, Southern Bites initiated a company-wide overhaul. Logan didn't delegate it. He led it. Every location received surprise audits. Fryers were checked. Staff were interviewed. Inventory logs were rerun through the new AI-driven fraud detection system Diana's team implemented overnight. 16 stores showed anomalies. 4 more regional managers were flagged. 2 quietly resigned. 1 was fired on camera, but something unexpected happened. 2 morale surged. Employees felt seen. Customers returned in droves, eager to taste the real recipe. Social media buzzed with "How back to the bite" and photos of families holding legacy chicken boxes like they were golden heirlooms. Logan didn't stop there. He launched a program called Roots Revival. Every manager and executive, from district supervisors to VP-level execs, were required to work a full week every quarter in a Southern Bites kitchen. It's not punishment, Logan told his board. It's reconnection. Mia was reinstated with full benefits and offered a position on the Employee Ethics Advisory Board. She hesitated at first, but after a long talk with Logan off the record without cameras, she accepted. "I want to do better," she said. "For Miss Evie." "You already are," Logan replied. The Memphis location got a full facelift. New signage, fresh paint. A new framed portrait of Miss Evie now hung above the counter alongside one of Logan's apron on stirring a stock pot. In a televised company town hall, Logan addressed all employees via live stream. "Some say what we serve is just food. I disagree. It's tradition, it's memory, it's trust. And trust, once lost, takes work to rebuild. But we're doing that work. And I swear on my grandmother's skillet, we're not losing it again." Diana leaned over to whisper during the applause, "You know you should trademark that skillet line." Logan chuckled. "Maybe I will." He knew the work wasn't done, but now he wasn't alone. He had Diana's intelligence, Mia's courage, a new generation of staff who believed again, and an army of loyal customers who hadn't stopped believing in Miss Evie's dream. Southern Bites wasn't just surviving, it was rising. 6 months later, the sun rose over Memphis like melted gold, casting long shadows across the sidewalk outside Southern Bites' original location. The newly restored storefront was already drawing a small crowd. Inside, the air buzzed with low chatter and the smell of freshly fried chicken drifting through the vents. Logan Carter stood in the kitchen apron on elbow deep in flour. The kitchen had changed, new equipment, new lighting, a few new faces, but some things remained exactly the same. The iron skillet, the spice rack with a locked drawer, and the framed photo of Miss Evie overlooking the prep line. Logan glanced up at it. "Hope we're making you proud today," he said quietly. Diana appeared beside him. "No suit today, just jean sneakers and a Southern Bites polo." "Your 10 Ozer interview's running a little early," she said. Logan grinned. "Then they can wait while I finish this batch." She didn't argue. She knew better. By 10:30, Logan was out front, seated at a round table facing a young journalist from a national food magazine. She flipped open her notebook, glanced at her recorder, and smiled. "Mr. Carter, Logan, please." Right. Logan, a year ago. Southern Bites was on the verge of crisis. Today, you've had your highest quarter in the company's history, your trust ratings have never been higher, and Miss Evie's legacy chicken is now trademarked in 22 countries. What changed? Logan considered the question. "I started listening again," he said, "to the people in the kitchen, to our customers, to myself." The journalist nodded, jotting notes. "What did you hear?" Logan looked past her toward the staff bustling behind the counter. Mia was greeting a table with her usual fiery energy. A young cook named Darryl was handing out fresh samples near the counter. Laughter echoed. "I heard that legacy means nothing if you don't defend it," Logan said. I heard that a name is just letters on a sign until the people inside it bring it to life. And I heard that sometimes the only way forward is to go back to where it all started. She was quiet for a beat. Then, what's next? Logan smiled. We keep cooking, we keep sharing stories. We never, ever sell out. That night, Southern Bites hosted a community dinner at the Memphis flagship. Customers were invited to eat for free as long as they brought someone who had never been to the restaurant before. The dining room was packed. Families, tourists, former employees, even the mayor showed up. Logan stood in the back for most of it, plate in hand, just watching. Maxine, a woman in her 70s, approached with a cane and a fierce sparkle in her eye. You the one behind all this? She asked. Logan nodded. Guilty. She leaned in. I knew your grandmother. She gave me my first job when I was 16. Taught me how to make cornbread without measuring. You're doing her proud, son. Logan swallowed a lump in his throat. Thank you, he said. Near closing, Mia walked over and placed something on the table where Logan was sitting. It was a framed photo, newly printed. Logan apron on, holding a tray of legacy chicken with a group of staff behind him, smiling tired but triumphant. We took this last week, Mia said. Thought you should have a copy. Logan stood, took one last look around the room, and hung the photo beside Miss Evie's. No grand speech, no camera crews, just a quiet nod. Because some victories don't need to be shouted. They just need to be lived. As he locked the door that night, he looked up at the sign. Southern Bites. The letters glowed against the dark sky. Still standing, still serving, still Southern,